Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a post on your blog and how to tag that post and put an image into the post. So, when you're in your dashboard, you may remember that you have multiple places where you can basically do the same thing. You have this middle section where you can click on your posts. You also have this top section where you can click Add New Post, or you have the menu on the left where you can go under Posts and click Add New. You can do any one of those things. If you click here, you'll have to still click Add New Post. So I recommend go to the left, click Add New, and a place is going to pop up for you to make a new post. The first thing that you want to do is put some kind of title in, because if you accidentally publish it without a title, the links to it won't work, but you can always edit the title later if you have one. So I'm just going to put for now test title until I decide what I want my real title to be. This area is just called the title bar. Down here is called the body of your post. So just like when you're writing an essay and you have the title and you have the introduction, you have the body, this is the body of your post. It's the main part of your blog post. So you type in here. Now, this is very simple. Okay, now you'll notice over here on the right, there's a place where you can save a draft. So like a rough draft of a paper, you can save a draft that no one will be able to see yet. You can also preview it to see what it's going to look like on your blog. And of course, you can hit publish when you're ready to publish. Now, you'll notice that I have several categories that I use to organize my blog posts. We don't use those much in the 6th grade, but just know that those are there in case your teacher asks you to use them. Underneath categories, however, is something very important. These are your post tags. Putting a tag on your post is as important as putting your name on a test. So when you put tags on the post, your teacher will tell you exactly what tags he or she wants you to use. For example, in my language arts class, we always use more LA6, and you just hit add. In my world cultures class, we always use more WC6. And then often we'll have tags that are specific to an assignment. For example, at the beginning of the year in World Cultures, we study Egypt, and we study ancient Egypt. So we study the pyramids, and we have a blog post we do that's about the pyramids. So I have pyramids used there as well. Now, underneath the body, you'll notice there's an area called Custom Fields. Yours probably isn't showing that yet, but that's one of the things that your teachers will guide you through later in the year. Sometimes when we get into the blog, we see all these buttons and all these areas, and we're like, whoa, what do I do with that? But it's okay to just know what you need to know to begin with and master that before you try to do everything at one time. Kind of like learning to ride a bike. You don't try to do a wheelie before you ever know how to drive the bike or ride the bike down the street. So, once you've typed into your blog post and you've given it tags, you always want to check it to make sure that it's right. Okay? You want to check and make sure that you've typed things the way you want them, that there aren't any typos, etc. One thing that we recommend that you do is actually type out your responses that you're going to post on your blog in a Word document first, so in Microsoft Word, and then copy and paste them into your blog. That way you have a copy of it saved in case the internet does something weird, and you also have a better interface for checking your spelling and your grammar. But sometimes with short blog posts, you won't do that. For example, let's say with this one, I wanted to say, here is a picture of me from Chicago. Or maybe I should say in Chicago. See how easy that was to revise? All I had to do was hit the backspace. Now, I'm saying here's a picture of me. There's no picture, right? But there will be. Now, again, you'll notice there are a lot of buttons. To begin with, just don't worry about those buttons. Okay, but up at the top, above the body, you'll see it says Upload, Insert. Those are the buttons you need to know. And more than anything else, you just need to know this one button. Now you notice when I hover over it, it says Add an Image. I'm going to click that. and it's going to come up with the image uploader that's going to allow me to add an image. Now you'll notice that there are different options. There's from URL, which if you find an image on the internet, but you have to be careful about that because you don't want to use somebody else's images without giving them credit. You also have media library. So my media library is actually going to have images in it because I've posted images before, but yours will mostly just have from computer, which is what you want to use. You go to select files, which makes sense, right? Because you want to choose a file, and you find one that you want to put. So I want to put a picture of me from Chicago. Here are my pictures. There's my Chicago folder. It's a good one of me. Oh, good. This is me in the Maya exhibit, the Mesoamerican exhibit, actually, at the Field Museum in Chicago. You'll notice it takes it a minute to load. It crunches it, and then the picture shows up. Once the picture shows up, don't just X out of this window, but take a minute, scroll down, and where it says Insert into Post, you, shockingly enough, again, insert into post. You don't need to justify it at all. So you see this where it says left, center, right. If you just click none, that's going to make your blog post easier to deal with. If you want to have a little tiny version of the picture, you can click thumbnail, but my question would be, why would you want a little tiny version of the picture? I like to keep it at medium, or sometimes I'll put it at full size. But once you're ready to do that, insert into post, and again, give it a minute. And you'll notice that in the body of the post, there's my picture. Now let's say I looked at this and went, oh no, that was the wrong one. If you just single click on the picture, you'll notice you have the option to delete it. That's what that little red X means, or that little red circle. And you also have the option to edit it. You can also use these little boxes on the side to shrink the picture down. Or when you hover over it and you see this four-sided arrow, you can drag it around to put it different places relative to the text in your post. Now, I'm not really going to save this post, so for now I'm just going to keep test title, but I want to show you what happens when you publish. You hit publish, and you give it a minute. You don't click publish 4 times. And then you'll notice it comes up with a yellow bar. This is confirmation that it's posted, but you always want to check it. So remember when I showed you the dashboard, you can go to visit site and see what it looks like, or conveniently, the blog gives you the option to view post. This will take you to your actual blog, and you can see what it looks like. You can confirm that you put your tags on it. You can check your tags to make sure that they're spelled correctly. Now, if you remember, there was this gray bar across the top of the dashboard. It's still there when I'm logged into my blog. So all I have to do is click dashboard to get back to my dashboard. I want to get rid of that post because I didn't mean it as a real post. So I'm going to click on posts. And then if you remember what I'm going to do, you can predict. I'm going to hover over. I'm going to click trash. And that's going to trash the post. So now you know how to add a post and how to insert an image.